The Rhine Fall is the largest in Europe. 150 meters wide and 23 meters high, it attracts 1.7 million tourists a year. Many of them come from India, since in the Bollywood films there's often a waterfall scene, and many films have been shot here.
With me.
Patricia Seif, a Rhine Fall guide, even met someone who thought the waterfall was a special effect.
I was once asked by an Asian tourist whether this waterfall runs all year long, which I thought was a very nice question he asked me. Obviously it's here all year long. In the 19th century, affluent people came here. Lots of them also the artists and people were attracted by the scenery and the beauty and were inspired by its natural beauty. The situation has changed now that people come more just for a day. They are here for day trips, mainly on coach tours, but also individually.
This natural wonder was formed about 17,000 years ago, after the last ice age, when the river Rhine changed its course and hit a different type of geology. In the Middle Ages, the area around the Rhine Fall and the nearby city of Schaffhausen became important for the trade on the river.
Where we are right now, this was a so-called warehouse for goods to be stored and shipped. Boats who shipped goods on the river Rhine had to be unloaded in the nearby town of Schaffhausen, and goods had to be transported down on horse carts, and from here on continued their way on the boats further down the river.
The town of Schaffhausen, later on, also played a pioneering role in the industrialization of Switzerland. This model shows, for example, a hydroelectric power station from 1866, which at that time was the biggest in the whole country. Soon the railways took over from the ships as a means to transport cargo on the Rhine, and steam navigation became instead more and more important for the budding tourism industry.
Kommt einmal im Leben nach Schaffhausen.
A different use and culture of the river started to develop, more tied to free time. At the turn of the century, people also started bathing in the river. One of the most interesting buildings in Schaffhausen is the Ribadi. The chlorine-free swimming pool is fed only by the river, and it still looks like it did in the 1930s.
Wir werden jetzt dieses Bad zeigen am Tag des Denkmals, auch deswegen.
We're showing this bath during the Heritage Days to make people aware of how different things were back then. In the beginning, men and women could only bathe in shifts. A bell would ring and the men had to go out, and women came in. And it took a while before women had the right to bathe on Sundays.
Mussten die Männer raus und dann konnten die Frauen kommen.
The Rhine Fall and the Ribadi are by no means the only historical sites on the banks of the Rhine well worth a visit. Whether for work or play, water has always been central to Schaffhausen.